What if I told you that your entire life can change without money, luck, or talent? What if just one thought, a single idea in your mind could turn failure into growth and hopelessness into strength? This is not a motivational quote. This is the true story of a man whose life changed the moment he changed one thought. You're watching Ethan Cole. Let's begin. Rohan used to believe that his life was already decided, not by fate or luck, but by failure. At 27, he woke up every morning with the same heavy feeling in his chest. The alarm rang at 6, and before his feet touched the floor, a familiar thought appeared in his mind. Nothing will ever change. That single thought followed him everywhere. He worked at a small office where his efforts were rarely noticed. His salary barely covered rent and basic expenses. His dreams, once loud and colorful, had become quiet and distant. He had stopped talking about them, even to himself. Whenever something went wrong, his mind repeated the same story. This is who I am. This is all I'll ever be. And slowly, that belief shaped his life. Rohan wasn't lazy. He wasn't untalented. But he was tired of hoping. He avoided challenges because he believed failure was guaranteed. He didn't apply for better jobs because he thought he wasn't good enough. When others talked about growth and change, he smiled politely but felt disconnected. Inside, he had already given up. One evening, after another exhausting day, Rohan stopped at a small tea stall near his apartment. An old man sat there every evening, quietly reading books and watching people pass by. That night, Rohan accidentally dropped his wallet. Before panic set in, the old man picked it up and handed it back. "It looked like someone carrying a heavy load," the man said. "Just life," Rohan replied. The old man nodded. Life becomes heavy when we carry the wrong thoughts. Those words stayed with Rohan. Days later, Rohan gathered the courage to ask, "What did you mean by wrong thoughts?" The old man smiled. "What is the first thought you have every morning? That nothing will change," Rohan answered. "And that," the man said softly, "is the thought controlling your life." Rohan argued, "But it's true." The old man shook his head. "Thoughts are not facts. They are seeds. What you plant daily decides what grows." That night, Rohan couldn't sleep. For the first time, he questioned his belief. He decided to run a small experiment. For 30 days, he would replace one thought. Instead of "nothing will ever change," he would say, "What if something can change?" It felt fake. It felt uncomfortable. But it felt possible. At work, something shifted. He paid more attention, made fewer mistakes. He spoke with more confidence. Not because life changed, but because he did. Some days were hard. The old thought returned. But now, Rohan paused. What if this is not proof, he asked himself, but a test? That pause changed everything. He started learning after work. He asked questions. He applied for opportunities he once feared. 3 months later, Rohan was not successful yet, but he was no longer stuck. His manager noticed his growth and trusted him with bigger responsibility. A year later, Rohan looked back at his past self. He had a better job, more confidence, more peace. But the biggest change was internal. The thought that once ruined his life no longer lived in his mind. Instead, one belief guided him. I am not stuck. I am learning. And that belief kept him moving forward. Your life doesn't change the moment luck appears. It changes the moment your thinking does. The thought you repeat becomes the life you live. So today, ask yourself, what thought is controlling you? Change that thought, and you may change everything. This is Ethan Cole. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs hope, because sometimes one thought is all it takes to begin a new life.